Okay, hi little lady. Let me see if I can get to the right live stream. Forgot to post it in Slack. Let me do that now right away. And I don't know if you've been watching this live stream trial, let me know. It started today with the testimony, and let me just post this. Copy link. Should have redirected you guys over here if you were in the sale, but this guy is really hard to look at. Now, he's got all these gel tattoos, and yeah, when he was arrested, he did not have tattoos like this, and he's got really very horrific tattoos on there, very racist tattoos, horrible tattoos on his face. Now, a while ago, they had said that he wanted makeup or something to cover up some of them, and they offered it. Some people say some of the tattoos look a little lighter, that he covered some things up, but he didn't cover everything up, and it constantly looks like he's smirking, which he is smirking a lot. Wore a very loud colored suit into court today, and just didn't break that look no matter what the testimony. And the testimony was pretty horrific. So it's a double murder in Cape Coral, Florida. It happened in October of 2019, and there's two women that were killed, a 35-year-old woman and a 43-year-old woman. And then they also had an ex that he beat her up horrifically. He actually, as it was described, her nose exploded when he punched her. And she was in court today as well as officers, medical examiner. And we heard during the opening statements, which were only by the prosecution. The defense is not doing their opening statement, and what the prosecutor said was that this is Wade Wilson, but he went by the name J.R. Jr., and I believe his real name is it's Matthias or it's Matthew. But anyway, he was at a club, the Buddha Club, and he ended up going home to a friend's house, and the friend's mother was there. He and this girl, Kristine Melton, had relations, and then they went back to her house, and she said goodbye to her good friend who was on the stand, and then you hear him say that he told his father that he killed her in her sleep. But she was, had horrific injuries. She was wrapped up in leggings and a shirt. It was like he was trying to carry her out and then just gave up and left her. And then another woman the 43-year-old Diane Ruiz, who was walking to her job at the Moose Club. He allegedly asked her for directions or something. He said didn't force her into the car. She ends up that he kills her, allegedly, and then runs over her body so many times. He told his father she looked like spaghetti. And what happened was when he showed up at this graphic arts company, and he had this acquaintance that he knew there who took the stand as well. He was wearing sweatpants, no shirt. He had blood on him. He was missing some teeth. And he tells this guy, I got to get out of town. He told him that I killed somebody and I've got to get out of town. Well, the guy's like, oh, crap. You know, he wanted a bus ticket. He wanted this. He wanted that. So the guy makes some excuse to get away, calls 911, but by the time they come back, he's gone. So then I think it's that he kills Diane Ruiz. Like after that, he breaks into this people's house. He starts eating and getting a drink and this and that. Calls his dad because he needs an Uber. Tells his dad that he needs an Uber. He needs to get out of town. But then he's telling his dad about these murders. And there was something in the way that he was talking that really, his dad was like, oh my gosh, like he was such a gratification from it, especially when he was saying like what he did to the woman that he ran over. And it freaked his dad out, obviously. And so instead of sending an Uber, his dad sent the U.S. Marshals there. And his dad even showed up there to coax him out. And then, okay, he's arrested. Now, there's a lot that's happened. There's even an escape attempt, and that he's saying that some trafficking ring is framing him, and that he was the person that like groomed women for this trafficking ring, and they're framing him. Then he has an ex-girlfriend that comes in. She worked at a spa. She had like an $80,000 Hellcat that was a manual, stick shift. He can't drive a manual. And so he tried to take the car, but then they ended up having this fight in front of other people, and she's the one that he was trying to drag her upstairs. Instead, he smashed her so hard in her nose that it exploded, and so much blood came out, and she was able to get away and run into an area business, and it was just crazy. Or she said, you know, she knew she would have died that day. So let's see. Let me go in and get, because I may have, if I'm remembering something, I want to make sure that we have it all right. And then if anybody wants to come up and talk about the case, or if you know stuff about the case or whatever, you're welcome to do so. So let me just go in here. Opening statements began on Monday today. Emotions ran high. So he's charged with killing Kristine Melton, 35, and Diane Ruiz, 43. Happened October of 2019. Most of today's testimony was about Kristine Melton. Wilson showed no emotion. Stephanie Johnson was her best friend. She took the stand. She talked about the night that they met Wade Wilson at that Fort Myers bar, Buddha Club. She said and described him as friendly, charming, and no red flags. She said he just introduced himself as JR. The witnesses report the two hit it off. They ended up going together. They ended up at Melton's Cape Coral home. She hugged me. She kissed me. She said she'd see me tomorrow, said her friend Stephanie. A few hours later, Wilson shows up at a shop owned by his acquaintance, Joshua Luckett, in a black Nissan that was later discovered to be Kristine Melton's car. He was wearing sweatpants, no shoes, no shirt, bloody, missing a couple of teeth. He turned up saying he was trying to get a bus or a plane ticket, whatever he could to leave town. The friend described his demeanor was frantic, and he was in a rush to leave because he had just done something horrific and killed people. And he said he made an excuse to get away from Wilson, and in that time, like I said, he called 911. Okay, he was gone, and then the next thing, he breaks in those people's house and then calls his dad. But in the meantime, he killed Diane Ruiz. Someone was on the stand that found Diane Ruiz's purse by the elementary school. had brought it into the elementary school, thinking that it was, a parent or somebody. And then they went to Diane Ruiz's fiance and her kids, and they tried to figure out why their mother's purse would be there. And someone was on that saw Wade Wilson running over something, backing up, going back over something, backing up, going back over something. And then they found out that's where Diane Ruiz was found. So, yeah, his ex-girlfriend also said that he confessed to the murders. And then that was basically it. But I want to go over some of the stuff that happened prior to trial. So this was back in 2021. He wanted the double murder case thrown out over a court office hack. So he asked the court back in 2021 to drop all charges against him due to a violation of attorney-client privilege. Oh, and yes, his former attorney died. In the motion, Wade Wilson claims that the public defender's case files were hacked in April of 2021, which destroyed attorney-client privilege, making the case unviable for prosecution. Public defender Kathy Smith said the 20th Judicial Circuit's office was hit with a malware intrusion back in April, but all services were restored. Cybersecurity professionals were able to investigate. But Wilson, who was indicted by that grand jury in November of 2019 for 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz, claimed that he wanted this thrown out in his motion. He argues that the hack put confidential statements part of the public domain. Therefore, they made the case unviable for prosecution. The public defender's office referred to the April incident as an intrusion, not a hack. So he was trying to get it thrown out. Now, he can face the death penalty. And in Florida, only 8 out of the 12 jurors have to, come to the decision about the death penalty. It doesn't have to be unanimous in Florida. Okay? So, yeah. Now let's talk about what he's saying about in 2023 in April. It seems like in April is when he does his talking. So 2023, he had written dozens of letters, and he made some wild accusations, from claiming his innocence to a conspiracy that reaches the depths of the Lee County institutions. He even talked on camera back then with NBC2 from his jail cell. And he spoke with NBC2's Kyla Galler, and she asked, "Did you kill Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz?" Wilson said, "No, absolutely not." He seemed confident, even smug. He sported the orange jumpsuit, and he had a more sinister appearance than when he was first charged 3 years ago. "I'm not a monster. I'm not a saint either, by any means. I've made bad decisions in the past. Of course, everybody has." According to an arrest report, Tristan Gendron asked Wilson to help keep the mother of his child so his domestic abuse charges would be dropped. To help kill, I'm sorry. I say keep. Wilson couldn't do it himself. He was in jail, but Gendron asked if his crew on the outside could. "He just thought I was the person to ask for that," Wilson said. Now, NBC2 obtained a copy of the note that Gendron wrote Wilson in jail with the details of the hit job. It came with a $200,000 payout, and Gendron said the money was in a safe at Gendron's funeral and cremation services in Fort Myers, and gave him security codes. Wilson said, "People would accept 10,000, 200,000, surely, but I'm not that type of person." Instead, he reported it to the state attorney's office and became a sworn witness despite not knowing the victim. I don't know her personally whatsoever from a can of paint, but it doesn't matter. She's a person, Wilson said. Investigators later found out there was a safe at the funeral home with cash inside, and those security codes in the note were accurate. The funeral director said the murder-for-hire charges against Gendron are BS. As you might imagine, anyone tied to Wilson isn't keen on talking. The state attorney's office can't. It's not clear. All the evidence it has against Wilson, but it's enough for prosecution to go for the death penalty. Okay, let's see. Wilson's father said his son admitted to strangling Kristine Melton while she was sleeping. He said he rolled her up in a carpet. He does admit he met her at a bar the night before she was found dead, and he slept at her house, but he claims she was alive when he left in her car. He told his dad. He then picked up a lady, asked for directions, then choked her and ran over so many times he made her look like spaghetti. I was forced. That wasn't a call I willingly wanted to make, Wilson said. Investigators say that the other woman was a mother of two, Diane Ruiz. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. As far as Diane Ruiz, I never ran across her. I've never seen her. There's nothing that will say otherwise, he said. He only briefly mentions Diane Ruiz and Kristine Melton in his letters, never giving the two women the dignity of saying their names, just that he was set up. He talked more often about a high-profile case of another Cape Coral woman, Lauren Dumelow. She hasn't been seen since June of 2020. He claims it's all part of a conspiracy that's being covered up, and he's trying to expose it. He says he was recruited from Key West to be part of a crime organization in Lee County. A lot of things we were doing in Key West to Fort Myers, including human trafficking and various other things. Prostitution with the women, drug trafficking. Wilson said some of the prostitution was happening at a local spa, and he claims he can prove that there was nefarious activity happening there. Now, they do talk about this spa, and some of them work there, etc. So when Gaylor, called Wilson's lawyer, he wouldn't answer any questions. He said, I'm the loose end that is so easily just X'd out. Wilson admits he's trying to save his life, but it will be up to a jury to figure out fact from fiction. Gaylor asked him, and I quote, are you just trying to discredit the people who are testifying against you at trial? He said, and I quote, absolutely not. No, I'm just trying to tell the truth. He mentioned the former Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott a number of times and claimed he was part of certain cover-ups. And Scott said to Gaylor over the phone that Wilson's allegations about him are outlandish and not true. As for the alleged crime ring, Fort Myers police say they haven't found anything regarding human trafficking. So what about, how did they get the codes for that funeral home in that same guy's name? That's just a weird thing. Not that I believe that he didn't do this, but as far as Wilson's claims about Lauren Dumelow, Officer Sancho said they don't think there's any connection between the two because Wilson was incarcerated before she disappeared. Okay, and let's go back to... He also, in 2021, wanted to be moved from Lee County Jail to Charlotte County Jail. And the reason for that, let's see, it was denied by the judge, saying the relocation will not be permitted solely for the convenience of the defendant. And now I'm going to talk about where he tries to escape. Looks like my computer's getting a little wacko. And then we're going to go over the indictment documents too, so we just get the facts as they are in this case. Okay, so let's see. Come on. Thought he was going to do something today, like when they were finishing up, make a run for it or something, but I don't know, they must have something on him to shock him or something, I don't know, because he just looks like the kind that's doesn't have too much to lose, and you know. Okay. Oh shoot, come on. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with my keyboard? Okay, let's see. So back in 2020, and you'll see, here's another picture of him. You see he had some of the neck tattoos, but he hadn't, let me get this up here. Come on. Hold on, I've got a better picture of that. Trying to get the better picture where you can see his whole thing. His whole face. I don't know what is going on with my computer. It is freaking, it's freaked off. Okay. Freaking. Oh my gosh, stop. Oh, this is crazy. Trying to get this old picture up here and out. Hold on, I'm gonna have to just probably shut down my Google Chrome and start it up again because it just doesn't want to listen to me at all. Can't even grab it. All right, let me try to shut this down here. Come on. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is the one I want to show you, but the computer wants to be a jerk. Okay, be a jerk. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm going to try to restart the Google Chrome. It really is just being a total jerk. I'm even going through the task. It will not move it. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Finally, it shut everything down. Okay, let me go back. It's like it doesn't want me to tell you about this escape attempt. Hold on. I'm not even gonna try to overtax it. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, what in the world? Okay, let's see if we can get back now and get on track again. Okay, I am awfully sorry about that. All right, let's get back. Oh, what a nightmare. Okay. Okay, October 1st of 2020. Let's try to get his picture up there again without the facial tattoos. Here we go. Let's see if we can make that larger. Okay. He had some neck tattoos, but he didn't have the facial tattoos. So he and two, let's see, were there two others, right? Or two Lee County Jail inmates, one awaiting trial for homicides, thwarted in escape attempt. So Wade Stephen Wilson, then 26. He's going to have charges of attempted escape and criminal mischief added to his case. He, along with his cellmate Joseph Katz, 30, will face charges of aiding and attempted escape and criminal mischief. Deputies at the Corps received information Wednesday night about a possible escape attempt. That night or Thursday, Wilson's name and that of his cellmate Katz were mentioned in a report on a possible escape. Their window in their cell showed signs of tampering. This is the window. The window. Okay. When the roughly 10-foot by 10-foot cell was checked, the only window in the unit showed signs of tampering with the metal frame holding the window removed and the thick security glass window showing several cracks in it. The sheriff's office said that Wilson was the primary planner and instigator, and that Katz could not have been ignorant of the attempt or not have taken part in it. Both men refused to make a statement after their window that was tampered was discovered. Wilson is facing the possibility of the death penalty, and so that was his escape attempt. He didn't make it far. He didn't make it anywhere, really. Now let's see. What else are we going to find out about Wade Wilson? I want to find his indictment. Okay. I just... Okay, let me just hold on. I had, oh my gosh, I had this, when this stupid thing went down. Okay. His trial's been 5 years in the making. His first attorney, like I told you, died. Well, he once tried to escape from holding. His defense team was also granted an unusual request to allow Wilson to wear makeup in court to cover tattoos on his face. However, they were still visible at the start of the trial. Attorneys wanted to cover the tattoos so Wilson would appear presentable to the jury. Okay, hold on, I think I might got it here. Okay, so he was indicted by a grand jury for the murders of Diane Ruiz and Kristine Melton. Now, the fiance of Diane Ruiz took the stand today, but back when this happened, he said, "He took away the love of my life. I don't think I will ever love like that ever again." And then there was this really sad thing where she had sent a text message thinking that he hadn't kissed her goodbye that day. And then he said, "Of course I did," and he was really emotional. Let's see. Ruiz's body was found on October 12th, 4 days after she was reported missing. I cannot believe I had this. He demanded a paid interview, and the interview could hurt his case. Oh my gosh, a 15-year-old girl loses her hand and leg in a Florida shark attack. Is that another one? Wow. Okay. Here is another look that you see. He did not have those tattoos. The owners of the house that he broke into also testified today. Okay, let's see. Okay, I just want to. Okay, they say he has a link to Mike Williams' case. So, oh, wait a second. Is that Mike Williams the one that they fed the husband to an alligator? Hold on. A man with Tallahassee roots at the center of two high-profile murders in Lee County has a long and twisted history of arrests and criminal accusations, including offering to kill Denise Williams, the woman convicted last year in the long unsolved murder of her husband, Mike Williams. Is that the one that they said he went fishing? And Wilson, who grew up in Tallahassee and attended Chiles High School, has a history of arrests in Leon County dating back to 2012 on charges of sexual assault, burglary, child cruelty, firearms offenses. He also has been accused of kidnapping and by women in Lee and Palm Beach counties. Last year, he emerged as a figure in the trial of Denise Williams, who was convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy in the death of her husband, Mike Williams, and plotting with her lover, yes, Brian Winchester, to make it look like a boating accident. Yeah, remember that one? We covered it. His disappearance in 2000 was one of Tallahassee's most vexing mysteries until investigators finally leveled charges against Winchester and later Williams. Winchester, who testified against Denise Williams, told jurors he tried to get Wilson, one of his jail mates, to fabricate evidence in the case. He said Wilson went so far as to offer to kill Denise Williams, who was eventually sentenced to life in prison. Wade brought up he was a hitman. Winchester said, I didn't believe him. He did offer to make Denise go away and make other witnesses go away, and I told him don't speak to me about that again. In 2015, Wilson was arrested on charges of battery and kidnapping after a woman told investigators he R'd her in his SUV after they met at a party. According to court records, the woman said she and Wilson went to the car to smoke marijuana before he abruptly turned violent. She said he ordered her to get in the back seat. He choked her with both hands around her neck, repeatedly threatened to shoot her if she didn't obey his commands. He called her the B word throughout the assault and made videos of it using his own cell phone. The victim stated after being choked and threatened with a gun, she became extremely scared and feared for her life. The victim said she went into survival mode and began doing whatever Wilson asked and tried her best not to make him mad. Wilson denied the charges, and a 6-person jury acquitted him at trial. Wow. One of his former girlfriends accused him in January of stealing her laptop and a gun. The following month, she told investigators he kidnapped and armed her, but Wilson and his former girlfriend were under a no-contact court order, and investigators opted not to pursue it. Wow, he's had a lot of stuff with the law. A lot. And here's him walking in the turtle suit. I feel like this is where we first saw Jimmy Rogers, right? Didn't we? And we discussed that turtle suit when the Teresa Seavers murder. This reminds me exactly of that same place. It might be. But there he is back then. So, yeah, a long history. And you see, he didn't have the facial tattoos back then. All right. Let's see what else. Let me see what you guys are saying. If anybody's saying anything in here about this. Let me go to top chat because it's just ridiculous. I mean, live chat. Okay. Hi, cute kitty kitty. How are you? Flower Girl Phillips. Hi. Anybody I didn't say hello to? Yeah, but we'll be watching. I don't know how long this trial is supposed to last. Let me see if I can find out how long this is supposed to last. How long? Oh, let's see. Expected to last 3 weeks. And something else is that the state made it clear that there is no plea offer for him. The Lee Circuit Judge Nicholas Thompson is the one who's presiding over the case. The trial is expected to last 3 weeks, and jury selection could last until June 11th. Well, it didn't. Assistant State Attorney Andreas Gardner, who is prosecuting the case, along with Assistant State Attorney Sarah Miller, say lawyers are screening roughly 300 potential jurors. They need 12 and 4 alternates. Well, they have the jury. Melton and Ruiz were killed within days of each other in October of 2019. Kristine Melton was found dead in her home, while Diane Ruiz's body was found in a field after her disappearance. And he was indicted by a Lee County grand jury in November of 2019. He's been in the Lee County jail since October of 2019. State prosecutors in the court documents say that on October 7, 2019, Wilson stole Kristine Melton's car after killing her, and he visited Montanez in Melton's car. Well, Montanez is the girlfriend that he attacked. Okay, she took the stand. Authorities say that Wilson used Kristine Melton's cell phone to contact Montanez, and after he attacked Montanez, he fled in Melton's car and encountered Diane Ruiz in Cape Coral, where police say he killed her and repeatedly drove over her body using Kristine Melton's car. And then he entered a nearby business where he confessed the homicides to the acquaintance. The acquaintance calls 911. He fled. He breaks into a nearby home. And then Authorities found Ruiz's body and Melton's car, along with both women's cell phones, according to the court documents. So it gets a little confusing. Like the timeline gets a little confusing. Like how it's hard to figure out. Like, well, he killed her the night before. Then he went to attack the other girlfriend. Then he killed Diane Ruiz. Then he ran over her body. Then, he's challenged recent changes to death penalty recommendations by jurors. Sought separate trials for the different charges. He sought to bar victim impact evidence at trial, and he hoped 3 aggravating factors would be dismissed in his case, alleging that they were unconstitutional. But that didn't happen. Okay. Let's see. Diane Ruiz was a mother of 2 who left for work one day and never came home. She never made it to the Moose Lodge in Fort Myers. Her fiancé said, "I'm still waiting for her to walk through the door, but I know in my heart that's never going to happen." The last text Ruiz sent was to Hannon saying, "I love you." He said that monster was the last one to talk to her. Hannon believes that monster is Wade Wilson. 4 days after her disappearance, she was found in a field just blocks from the Moose Lodge. The morning Diane Ruiz vanished, a neighbor's surveillance video recorded a black Nissan in the neighborhood. Cape Coral police later confirmed the black Nissan belonged to Kristine Melton, who was found dead in her home just hours after Diane Ruiz's disappearance. Detectives connected the 2 murders to Wilson. Now, a friend of Diane Ruiz has said they should torture him just like he did to those girls. A deposition revealed that Wilson called his father 3 times that Monday. He told his dad he saw Ruiz walking, he picked her up, and he choked her. When he went to dump her body, he realized she wasn't dead. And according to Wilson's father, Wilson said that he said to me that he got back in the car and he ran over her multiple times until she looked like spaghetti. Her poor daughter has to grow up without a mother. It's terrible, said that family friend. Ruiz's friends and fiancé say she made everyone feel like they belonged, even if she had just met them. She was the light of my life. We had such a good time all the time. No matter what we did, we always had a good time doing it, said her fiancé. The entire trial is expected to last a month, but that was with the jury selection, so this part is expected to last about 3 weeks. And all right, let's see now what else is in the going on. That socialite who ran down those 2 little boys in that crosswalk. We've talked about this case before. She learns her fate, where these 2 little boys were killed. So on today, Monday, well, we're still Monday for us here, a California judge sentenced Rebecca Grossman to 15 years to life for the murders of the 2 young brothers she hit while speeding 4 years ago. Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Joseph Brandolino described her actions as reckless and unquestionably negligent. Nancy Iskander, the mother of 11-year-old Mark and 8-year-old Jacob Iskander, demanded a sentence that acknowledged the loss of both of her sons. The judge subsequently sentenced Grossman to 2 concurrent 15 to life terms, plus an additional concurrent 3 years for fleeing the scene of a deadly crash. The 60-year-old socialite sped her Mercedes through a crosswalk, killing Mark and Jacob as they crossed the street with their mother and younger brother. The incident happened at the Westlake Village, northwest of Los Angeles, 7:10 p.m. on September 29th of 2020. Nancy Iskander grabbed the 5-year-old son, Zachary, and dove out of the way. She and the youngest son witnessed the crash. Grossman was found guilty in February of murder, gross vehicular manslaughter, and of hit and run with fatality. During the trial, Nancy Iskander testified that her older boys were ahead of her and her youngest child in the marked crosswalk on Triunfo Canyon Road when she heard the sound of roaring engines, and then she saw 2 SUVs speeding towards them. At the time of the incident, Grossman was driving behind her boyfriend, Scott Erickson, a former Dodgers player, after sharing drinks with him earlier that day. Grossman had been speeding up to 81 miles per hour and continued to drive around half a mile after striking the children. In addition to her sentence, Grossman agreed to pay $47,161.89 in restitution to the Iskander family, along with $25,000 donation she had previously made for funeral expenses. The sentence concludes a nearly 4-year-long legal battle, which Grossman refused to accept responsibility for the children's deaths, saying, "I never saw anyone. I would have driven into a brick wall. I don't know why God did not take my life." So, seems like very little for killing those kids. Okay, next, let's see. So there's also a sentencing trial for the man who admitted gunning down 5 women at a Florida bank. He pled guilty to 5 counts of murder last year, and they're having the sentencing trial for these 5 women here. Zephan Xavier, who's now 27, pled guilty to 5 counts of murder last year in the deaths of Cynthia Watson, 65, Maricel Lopez, 55, Anna Pinion Williams, 38, Deborah Cook, 54, Jessica Montague, 31, on January 23rd of 2019. Before the murders, he texted a girlfriend in another state that he was dying today and taken a few people with him because I've always wanted to kill people, so I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. After the murders, apparently having changed his mind about dying today, he called 911 and admitted what he did. There was a 2-hour standoff, and then he was taken into custody. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty in the sentencing phase, and family members of his victims say that they support that move. State Attorney Brian Haas said Florida no longer requires a unanimous decision. Remember, that's what I just told you, is 8 out of 12. Since lawmakers made a new rule in 2023, 8 jurors out of 12 can now sentence a defendant to death. Zephan's defense attorneys are expected to rely on his mental health issues to persuade at least 5 jurors to vote against the death penalty. Jury selection for the trial was conducted last month, and the trial is expected to last several weeks. Okay, and then we've got property dispute is crazily out of control when a South Carolina man, Sean Bigwood, was arrested on charges related to shooting incident in Florida in February that wounded his father and another man. Sean Bigwood fired more than 30 times into the home in Grant Valkyria because of a property dispute. Both victims were not identified. They were shot multiple times and survived. Bigwood's father was the target of the attack, and the other man was a friend of his father's who just happened to be visiting at the time of the shooting. Bigwood has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder with a firearm, burglary with battery, and armed burglary with firearm. He is being held without bond. The 2 victims told police their assailant fired at them from a patio outside the house. He was dressed in black, wearing a ski mask. One of the callers stated that he believed the shooter was his son, based on the stature of the shooter and a recent property dispute that was taking place between the 2 of them. Investigators spent months poring over surveillance videos between the Florida house and Bigwood's home in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and phone records to determine that the suspect left work unexpectedly on the morning of the shooting, drove to Florida, and they conducted a search of his Rock Hill residence after the arrest, and they seized items relating to the investigation. So, yeah, not a way to solve that. And then there were many red flags in this horrific case here. An Illinois mother was found shot multiple times in her home last month, allegedly at the hands of her own husband. Norman Police Department say it happened May 29th in the 3000 block of Red Jasper Street in Normal. Was it really called Normal? The victim was Amy Moore, 46 years old. She was a teacher at Grove Elementary School. She was fatally shot by her husband, Matthew Moore, 46, who then turned the gun on himself. Okay, so now these kids have no parents. Preliminary evidence shows the male suspect illegally entered the incident residence. It's believed the suspect confronted the victim and shot the victim multiple times. It is then believed the suspect died from self-inflicted gunshot wound. They had a tempestuous relationship. Their divorce was in its final filing a week before the incident. Multiple protection orders were filed throughout their 2-year legal battle against Michael Moore, who has bouts with toxic behavior and grandiose utterances. The couple had 3 children, 12, 11, and 7. There were many red flags, many phone calls, many trips to lawyers to try and address this. I think for sure the entire system let her down. This is something that, with the number of incidents we've had over the years, they shouldn't have been in the same room at the same time. It should have been impossible for that to happen, said the victim's brother, Thomas Burns. Meanwhile, Thomas has started a GoFundMe to help raise funds for the kids. And if you're experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233. That's terrible. Now they have no parents. This is just nuts. And then you wonder why people are... A day after the murder conviction of a Pennsylvania man's wife, human remains were found at his home, possibly related to his missing girlfriend. After about an hour of deliberations, the jury found 48-year-old Brian Gillis guilty Thursday of first-degree murder and aggravated assault for the death of his wife, Nancy Gillis. According to investigator, Gillis has a history of crimes against women, including in part assault and terroristic threats. Following Thursday's verdict, a warrant was executed, citing specific information for Gillis's apartment in the 500 block of Franklin Street in Johnstown's Kernville area. Human remains were found during the investigation. It's unknown if the remains are related to Brian's missing girlfriend, Jilly Todaro. According to Cambridge County Coroner Jeffrey Lees, the death was classified as highly suspicious He reportedly said investigators are taking all necessary precautions to handle the case with dignity and respect. While the Cambria County District Attorney Gregory Neubauer declined to comment on which case the search was related to, he did agree with Lees that the location of the body was suspicious. At this point, we're going to have a lot to provide until we get a positive. We're not going to have a lot more to provide until we get a positive identification. Todaro disappeared in December 2020, a few days after a reported domestic altercation. His wife, Nancy, vanished from their Johnstown home in October of 2018. Her remains were found along the James Wood Sculpture Trail near the Johnstown Inclined Plane in a shallow grave in May of 2019. Brian was arrested for his wife's death in May of 2022. Testimony during the trial stated that either of the fractures from blunt force trauma on the front or back of Nancy's skull could have killed her. Brian maintains his innocence, saying, and I quote, "Nope, I'm innocent, but if this is what they want to do, let them do it, man. I've been railroaded before. It's all good. There ain't nothing I can hope for, right? Everybody got what they wanted." So that was October 18th, 2018. Nancy Gillis, his wife, disappears. Her skeletal remains are found May 26th of 2019. May 29th of 2019, they're identified as Nancy Gillis. In July 3rd of 2019, he's charged with assaulting a woman at a Johnstown apartment complex. 4 days later, he's charged with assault after a dispute with a woman at the Camtran bus terminal. September, the apartment assault charges are dropped. October 21st, 2019, Nancy Gillis's death is ruled a homicide. December 11th, 2020, there's a domestic altercation between Gillis and Todaro at an apartment. That's the girlfriend that's missing. December 13th, she disappears, 2020. December 23rd of 2020, police search his apartment. I don't know how they didn't find anything then. February 18th of 2021, a clump of human hair, women's clothing, cleaning supplies are found at the apartment, along with a letter allegedly written by Todaro saying she left for a new lover. May 6th of 2021, charges were filed against Gillis for making terroristic threats, harassment, and disorderly conduct by a woman at the Camtran bus terminal. Another time. May 14th of 2021, police searched the defendant's home again for Todaro. How come they didn't find her until September 24th of 2021? Gillis is sentenced to 6 to 16 months with 3 years probation for threatening to kill a woman. May 14th of 2022, Gillis is charged with criminal homicide, aggravated assault, and hindering prosecution in connection with his wife's death. June 3rd of 2024, the trial begins. June 6th, he's found guilty. That was quick, huh? A first-degree murder and aggravated assault for killing his wife. June 7th, the human remains are found in his apartment basement. How come it took so long? The judge scheduled the sentencing hearing for August 13th at 1 p.m. A first-degree murder conviction carries a mandatory life sentence in Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, the investigation into Todaro's disappearance continues. So there we go to see if they find an ID, the remains. That's crazy. Okay, now what happened here? Be careful of buying in Marketplace. North Carolina woman was murdered. 67-year-old woman was murdered on the online Marketplace, a gone wrong sale. A North Carolina man was arrested and charged with the murder of the 67-year-old woman who had arranged to sell him an item through the online Marketplace. Troy Gillard has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of Catherine Holmes, robbery with a dangerous weapon, discharging a firearm into occupied property, possession of a firearm by a felon, and a fugitive from justice. Gillard was arrested on Wednesday in Winston-Salem. According to the News and Record, officers were called for a traffic accident on Denny Road on the morning of May 24th, and they found Holmes in the car with a gunshot wound. The accident took place because of the shooting, police said. Let me see here. Holmes's daughter told the newspaper that her mother was shot in the neck and was unable to move her foot from the accelerator, causing the crash. Holmes was taken to a local hospital but died 2 days later. Court documents say that Gillard robbed Holmes of her wedding band and engagement ring. He is being held without bond and has an October 1st court appearance. Wow. And I don't know if they found, Kentucky State Police were looking for an unidentified driver who shot a man dead in a road rage incident on Saturday night. The incident began on Interstate 71 in Carroll County. Both vehicles exited the highway at exit 43 onto Highway 389, and the caller said that the other driver was brandishing a firearm. Troopers and other emergency responders arrived on the scene, and they found Daniel Schaus dead on the scene. Investigators did not say if Schaus was the caller who reported the incident. They provided no information other than to say that they were investigating. So I don't know what happened with that road rage in Kentucky. Okay, so, well, let's see, hold on, my chat is being crazy. Okay, so what time is it? It's 12:49. Let's see what else. What did I, let's see what else we have here. Okay, so there's apparently a something about Gabby Petito. Says that Gabby Petito begged Brian Laundrie to stop crying and calling her names in a heartbreaking final love letter that was released by the FBI. Gabby and Brian, I think all of you know this, right? Were traveling across the United States, documenting their travels, van life channel, and he went home to Northport, Florida, to his parents' house without her. She was missing. Then they found her body strangled. He then took off for this reserve by his house, and he wasn't found. But for a while, until I think it was like a month later, that he was found with this confession with him and the parents. It was just a nightmare. In the years after Gabby was killed and Brian later was found, toxic details of the relationship have come to light, including selfies taken by Gabby of injuries to her face. Now the FBI has released a love letter written by Gabby to Brian expressing how her deep-rooted love for him while begging him to stop crying. In it, Gabby writes, "I love you so much it hurts. So you in pain is killing me. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm frustrated. There's not more I can do." She later goes on to write, "I hope you understand when I'm upset, it's because you make me love you too much. Now stop crying and come home and say you love me with a big hug." A selfie taken by Gabby on the day she and her fiancé were stopped by police a month before she went missing shows she had clear facial injuries. The photo shows injuries around her eye and across her face. She appears to be wearing the same top in both the selfie and the police body-worn camera footage of the traffic stop. In the footage released by the Moab police, officers can be heard talking to Petito and Laundrie. They both admit having a fight, but Petito said she struck him first. She told officers, "Laundrie gets frustrated with me." The couple had set off on the road trip across America. It was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. The 4-month-long journey started on July 2nd of 2021 and was set to cover some of the most picturesque national parks. Gabby is launching herself as a travel vlogger. Her YouTube channel, Nomadic Static. Her parents began a desperate search to find their daughter, and they were soon joined by an army of internet sleuths. Adding to the mystery, her partner, Brian Laundrie, returned home to Florida in September, but he was alone. They presented themselves as a loved-up couple on social media, but police body cam footage painted a starkly different picture. When they were pulled over, Gabby's coroner later ruled Gabby's died of strangulation and that she had probably been dead for 3 or 4 weeks before her body was discovered. It is believed that Brian Laundrie admitted murdering his partner in the confessional note before he took his own life. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so it says, let me get this letter. Okay, the FBI's been releasing a lot of stuff lately. Hang on. Okay, let's bring it over here. To Batman. Premieres. Brian, you know how much I love you. And I'm writing this with love. Just please stop crying and stop calling me names, because we're a team. And I'm here with you. I'm always going to have your back. Sorry I got upset over a dumb piece of paper, but I just wanted to do that with you, you know? Really, this is all your fault because you're into all this cool stuff I was sheltered from. So just try to understand. Yes, I can be a child sometimes, I know, but it's 'cause you give me this energy and I just love you too much, like so much it hurts. So you in pain is killing me. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm frustrated. There's not more I can do. You know, as soon as we're unpacked and I come back from New York, I'm going to come, or with you, not much. else here. Something. What the heck? I can't. Let me see. You know, as soon as we're unpacked and I come back from New York, something myself, I'm going to come work with you because there's not much else here, and we can work on the van together, and they are our dreams now, are us together, all two of us. So hope you understand, when I'm upset, it's because you make me love you too much. Now stop crying and come home and say you love me with a big hug. I love you. Also included in the documents they released are drawings from Laundrie's notebook, including a piece of paper that says "Trust no one" and a drawing of what appears to be a skull surrounded by the word "kill." The documents show a bill of sale for Laundrie's gun, as well as photos from surveillance cameras of the van the pair was traveling in, and photos of some of their belongings. The FBI has released nearly 400 pages of evidence. So what is with the FBI now? All of a sudden, just they're releasing all this stuff. Let me see something. Let me see something. Oh, hold on. So here, let me see what they've got here. Published June 5th. Let's see what they released. Let's see what they released. All right, let me see. No, I want to. Let's see what there is here. Let's zoom in. Zoom in. On September 14, 2021, writer was contacted by FBI Long Island RA in reference to a missing person, Gabby Petito, date of birth 3/19/1999. From case redacted, Petito was last heard from on August 27, 2021, and was known to be in the area of the Teton National Park in Wyoming with her boyfriend Brian Laundrie. Surveillance videos seen by the Jackson Police Department showed that Petito and Laundrie leave the area of Jackson, Wyoming around 1500 hours on August 27th in a white Ford van, Florida license plate. Agents also learned Petito used an application called the Dirt to review campsite reservations for the night of August 27, 2021, which is inside the boundaries of the Bridger-Teton National Forest. This is known dispersed campsite area. This was the last known location for Petito's phone at the time of the case opening. Preliminary reviews of return search warrant date for Laundrie's phone obtained by Northport, Florida PD indicates Laundrie did not leave Wyoming until August 30th of 2021. This includes multiple areas of federal land. The New York tip line received a call from a couple who had positively identified laundry on August 29, 2021. The couple had stopped to pick up a hitchhiker, later identified as laundry, at the Coulter Bay Visitor Center inside Grand Teton National Park. The couple gave laundry a ride to Moran Junction, approximately 10 miles southeast of Coulter Bay Visitor Center. During the drive, laundry told the couple he had been on a hike alone for 4 days and needed a ride back to his fiancée and their van. When they reached the junction, laundry told the couple to stop as he exited the vehicle because they were going the wrong way. August 30th, 2021, financial data showed laundry using a gas pump at the Maverick gas station located at 1604 West Main Street, Riverton, Wyoming. Sergeant of the Riverton Police Department responded to the Maverick gas station and to businesses in the area to review surveillance video. The surveillance video at the gas station showed a male, believed to be laundry, exit the van and put gas in it. Laundry then gets back inside the van and leaves the area. Petito is not observed in the surveillance video to be inside the van. Video surveillance was also obtained from multiple other gas stations. Laundry stopped at between Wyoming and his residence in Florida. None of the surveillance videos seen by investigators at the time of the case opening showed Petito in or near the van with laundry. On September 14, 2021, investigators obtained a search warrant for the white Ford van used by Laundry and Petito. The subsequent search revealed Petito's personal belongings were missing, as well as the mattress from the van seen in previous posted YouTube videos by Petito. At the time of the case opening, Laundry would not speak to investigators in reference to the location of Petito. Ryder requested a case opening for kidnapping and murder of Petito on federal lands. Okay, and then this says missing persons report, Brian Laundry subject, Gabby Petito victim, missing person, attached, tier 2 and made part of, okay. Business name, medical treatment, case received from PO 5th desk, reported that he has had no contact with redacted above MP since 8/27/21, and redacted has been quiet on all forms of social media. C1 reported that on August 27th, redacted stated she was with her boyfriend, Laundry Brian, in Grand Teton National Park. MPS's phone has been shut off since 8/30/2021, and there has been no activity on her phone in the last 10 days. C1 contacted MP's credit card, and there's been no activity on that as well. C1 stated that redacted has tried numerous times in the past weeks to reach Brian Laundry's redacted and Brian Laundry with negative results. C1 attempted to contact federal park police to file a missing persons report, but they will not take the report. After multiple attempts by ID to reach redacted were unsuccessful, Northport, Florida police were sent to their residence. Boyfriends redacted reported that Brian Laundry was home at his redacted and had flown home after a fight with MP. Flown home, he didn't fly home. PO redacted of Northport informed ID that redacted was refusing to cooperate with the investigation and that missing persons van, a 2012 Ford Florida registration, was currently in the driveway. Redacted did inform PO redacted that MP, missing person, was not at the residence. Missing person's van was impounded by the Northport police. ID contacted several agents redacted of the FBI in regards to who will be opening an investigation into the missing person's disappearance in conjunction with this investigation. C1 was notified of the same investigation is ongoing. Okay, evidence work done. Case received from P.O. Gallant, 5th desk, reported that redacted has had no contact with redacted above missing person since 8/27/2021. Always been quiet on social media. Okay, we just heard all that. Federal Brian Laundrie. Gabby Petito. Okay. This, I think we read this, right? On September 14, 2021, this writer received a telephone call from Special Agent from the New York Division Long Island Resident Agency, advised the Federal Bureau of Investigation had been asked to assist regarding missing person Gabby Petito. The special agent advised Petito had traveled to Yellowstone National Park from the Tampa, Florida area with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. When Laundrie returned to the Tampa area, Petito was not with him. Special agent stated that Petito's credit card had been used on August 31st of 2021 at Circle K store, number 3617, located in Monteagle, Tennessee. The writer was familiar with the store, confirmed the address of the store was 741 West Main Street, Monteagle, Tennessee. Special agent advised on August 31st, and authorization was granted for Petito's credit card to be used at the above Circle K on August 31st, and $33.94 was charged to Petito's credit card at the above store. Special agent provided photographs of both Petito and Laundrie, along with a photograph of the white van that had traveled into YNP. Special agent requested this writer to ascertain if the Circle K had video cameras, and if so, to determine if there was video footage of Petito and or Laundrie. The writer made contact with Sergeant Redacted of the Monteagle Police Department to ascertain if the Circle K had video cameras, and if so, was there video footage of either Petito or Laundrie. This writer provided Redacted with the photographs of Petito and Laundrie and a photograph of the white van. A short time later, Redacted telephoned this writer and advised the video footage from inside the store and the above date was reviewed, and neither Petito nor Laundrie was observed inside the store, but video footage from an hour before and an hour after the above date time was reviewed with negative results for either Petito or Laundrie. Redacted stated that there was a gas station located across the street from Circle K, spoke with the owner over there, and that owner on September 15th, camera footage from multiple cameras from the Circle K gas station in Gainesville, Florida. This footage was turned over voluntarily to the FBI. The subject, Brian Laundrie, and or the white Ford van, was seen at the following points in the video. A mobile number was interviewed at the Ocean Lake Wildlife Habitat Management Area, Wyoming, after being advised of the identity of the interviewing agent and the nature of the interview. Redacted provided the following information: that Redacted is a long-time Fremont County resident. Upon seeing various missing persons information in news media, Redacted called the Fremont County Sheriff's Office to report interaction with a female he believed matched the description in the media. Redacted land adjacent to the Ocean Lake WHMA Lindholm facility. Ocean Lake encompasses Ocean Lake and some surrounding lands. Okay. Redacted was checking on Redacted approximately 2 weeks prior to interaction with writer. Redacted could not recall an exact date. Okay. Time frame approximately August 30th through September 1st. Notice a camper van, possibly a Ford, parked close to the water outside of WHMA. Redacted approached a single female outside of the van and informed her of better campsites available nearby. Redacted described the female as in her 20s, tall, slender, blonde hair. Noticed only the female, no other additional people around the vehicle. Redacted recalled discussing the state of Iowa with the female. Redacted thought the van might have had an Iowa license plate, and this generated the Iowa discussion. Redacted recalled the female stating that she was from New York. and that she was traveling through the area. The female asked redacted if she could remain overnight in her present location. Redacted could not recall noticing any tattoos or seeing the female with a hat. Redacted returned the following day to find the female and the van gone. Redacted clarified that he saw the original missing person information in the Cowboy State Daily. Upon being shown photos of the van in question, Redacted was sure he saw a larger van than the one pictured. Upon being shown a photo of the missing person, Gabby Petito, Redacted was uncertain if this photo matched the appearance of the female with whom he interacted. Okay. Male and female customer drive onto the property on August 24th. Male customer comes out and interacts with a person on the passenger side whom I believe is the female companion. After a few minutes, a male customer puts gas and then drives away from the fuel station and parks a white van onto store property on aisle 7. Male and female customer come into the store approximately 16:57 through the GM entrance. Female appears to be carrying 2 large handbags. Customers start shopping over in the pharmacy section, apparently searching for something particular. The customers then walk into GM Action Alley and proceed to walk towards GM. The 2 customers separate and the male walks into the automotive and the female walks through GM, makes her way to the electronics where she looks at laptops until the male meets up with her. 17:07 p.m. The 2 make their way to the grocery where they separate again. The 2 meet up again in produce where the male appears to be coming in from outside. I have suspicions the female may be concealing merchandise as it appears the handbags are growing in size. The 2 customers then shop along produce, where at one point they stop near a 4-way bunker where the female customer makes a selection of approximately 3 cucumbers at approximately 17:19. The female then walks away, turns walking towards grocery, places the cucumbers inside her bag. The 2 customers then appear to shop more before finally exiting through the grocery exit. The female and male make their way back to aisle 7, where their white van is parked, and after a few minutes of what appears to be the male disposing of garbage in 2 separate trips, the 2 customers leave, drive back to the fuel station, enter fuel pump number 3 camera, where the male appears to dispose of more trash. After disposing, the male re-enters the van, drives off store property at approximately 17:44 p.m. I just looked at this document again and realized we had different addresses. Let's see. I worked with the redacted to come to the conclusion, maybe worth getting info from locations. Okay, let's see what else there is. Attached is a summary of the work we've been doing the past few days with regard to video canvas across the country for Laundry's trip from Wyoming to Florida. If you have any questions, let me know. It says the following interviews were conducted in regards to a missing persons case out of the New York Federal Bureau of Investigation. The missing persons case involves Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, who were conducting a cross-country trip in a van over the course of several weeks. On September 15, 2021, Federal Bureau of Investigation Special Agent and Special Agent Redacted conducted an interview with Redacted, the Redacted of the Casey's General Store located in West City, Illinois. Agents met at additional store locations in order to review footage. They reviewed footage at both stores, and they were not able to identify. Okay. There was a van similar, but I don't know if it was them. Okay. Locked herself in the bathroom, was heard crying in the gas station, said they think it was Gabby. Based off the tattoo, let it be. The police report. Okay, let's see what they say here. They saw Gabby on 8/27 along with her boyfriend and 2 other males in Corinne City, Utah. According to the reports and interviews, the individuals perceived it to be Gabby, went into the gas station to ask for directions to Yellowstone, told the attendant they were going to camp in every national park, locked herself in the bathroom, was heard to be crying for a few moments. The gas station attendant said they think it was Gabby based off the tattoo that stated "Let It Be." On 9/15/2021, Redacted called in a report on August 27th that her coworkers spotted Gabby Petito at the gas pumps. I called Redacted and spoke with her on the phone briefly about the information. She told me that her coworkers had on August 27th spoken with an individual named Gabby Petito outside at the gas pumps. I asked the person why they waited so long to report that information, and she told me that the pictures had been posted on Facebook and they noticed the tattoo she had and spoke with her about it. But at the time, Gabby was not listed as a missing person. They just wanted to document the incident and also told me that she had called Florida to let them know the same information, but she was not able to contact anyone and left a message. I asked Redacted if Redacted, I'd asked Gabby where they were headed to, and she told me that when they spoke with her, she was talking to them about going to Yellowstone, and that was all the information she had. I thanked her. Blah, 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 and a report. Okay, this is the Korean service station. See if they found anything. 2 more males with them. Stated she remembered talking with this male Brian as they were asking for directions to Yellowstone. Stated she gave them the information from Highway 13, turn at the Bear River Valley Co-op, go through Bear River, get Stated her dog had surgery and was on medication, needed to be washed. Okay. I don't know. This, to the best of my knowledge, on or about Friday, the 27th of August, I believe I had a conversation with Gabby and her boyfriend. I am a Redacted at Manning Shortstop, and they came in for a drink. The Redacted commented on her tattoo, "Let It Be," and her boyfriend, who was tallish, approximate left, slim and dark hair and mustache, asked me directions to Yellowstone. They told us they had been road tripping from back east and were trying to hit all the national parks, so I told them what route I would take, and we talked about what music to play on the road trip, and then they exited the gas station and walked to one of those newer utility white vans. This one says, on or about August 27th, I was working at the Corinne Sinclair when 4 people came in, 3 men and 1 female. They wandered around gathering drinks and conversing. When they got to the counter, the female and 1 male came to the counter. I was waiting for the other 2 males to come to the counter. I asked if they were going to the Spiral Jelly, and they said no, they were going on a long road trip to the national monuments. They stated they started on the East Coast. They also said they were camping along the way. When the female paid for their items, I noticed a tattoo on her right forearm that said "Let It Be." The male asked for directions to Yellowstone, and they went out and got in a white minivan. Not sure where the other 2 went. Everyone seemed to be having a good time. Let's see. Preservation. Okay, so-and-so was interviewed by a phone at phone number after being advised of the identity of the interviewing agent and the nature of the interview. On August 28th at approximately 1:44 Redacted stopped at Chevron gas station. Redacted was driving her. Redacted observed a white female whom she identified as Gabby Petito from later released photos standing near a white van with a ladder on the back. Redacted also identified the van as matching later released photos of Petito's vehicle. Redacted saw that the female was crying outside the van while a man pumped gas. Redacted only saw the male momentarily. The male was possibly white, tan, in his mid-20s, and wore a hat. Redacted observed the female was wearing Teva brand or similar style hiking sandals and a tank top with no bra. The female had long blonde hair and had bad body odor, leading Redacted to believe the female had been camping for a period of time. The female was younger than mid-20s and was fit. The female pulled her phone out and started recording the surrounding mountains. The mountains around the gas station were not significant. Redacted tried to take a photo of the female, but the female looked back, causing Redacted to lower her phone. Redacted heard the male tell the female, "Time to go, let's go." Redacted entered the gas station, and when she returned, the van was gone. On Wednesday, September 15th, writer received from the Fremont County Sheriff's Office video footage from Ironworks Gym in Riverton, Wyoming. A van resembling the white Ford belonging to victim Gabby Petito travels southbound on West Main Street, passing Ironworks Gym on August 30th at approximately 10:33 a.m. In addition to the video, a zoomed-in screenshot is attached. On Wednesday, September 15th, 2021, writer received from the Riverton Police Department video footage from Maverick gas station, Riverton, Wyoming. A van resembling the white Ford van passes Maverick traveling south, enters the gas station, pulling up at 10:27 on August 30th. A male individual exits the vehicle, appears to pump gas, and departs at 10:31 a.m. Video is attached. On Thursday, September 16th, writer receives from Fremont County Sheriff's Office video footage from Lava Mountain Lodge. A van resembling the white Ford van belonging to the victim, Gabby Petito, travels southbound on Highway 26 in the direction of Dubois at approximately 8:31 Mountain Time. Video is attached. Let's see. This is another interview. Someone arrived at Spread Creek, Wyoming, approximately 10 a.m. on September 5th. They noted that Spread Creek is a campsite that can be found on the Dirt app for free camping. They drove all the way towards the river to camp. Approaching the campsite, they noticed a hammock and a rope hanging on a tree. On the ground was a table with a blue cloth blanket covering it and a floor mat. Redacted took the hammock and table because the items looked abandoned. Redacted woke up the morning of September 6th, went fishing up the stream. They walked in the stream approximately 400 meters until they smelled something. Redacted was an average hunter and believed the smell was a dead animal. Redacted decided to turn around and head back to the campsite. A few hundred yards away from the campsite, they noticed an unknown male and female along the bank of the river. The two unknown people observed Redacted and immediately walked back to their vehicle and drove away. They believe the vehicle was a Ford F-350. Upon returning to the campsite, they noticed that the blue cloth blanket and doormat were missing. They were interviewed via telephone number. Redacted was camping at Signal Mountain Campground with his wife and two other couples from August 20th to the 27th. On the evening of the 26th, the wife observed a young female with blonde hair and a tattoo on her arm in the bathroom of the campground. At approximately 7:30 a.m. on August 27th, Redacted was walking to the campground store and deck in order to get cell phone service. While walking, a young woman with blonde hair wearing blue jeans and an olive green jacket passed him. When he got to the cell phone reception deck, the same blonde woman was on her phone about 15 meters away. They observed a tattoo on her arm while she was texting on her phone. did not see or make any calls. The young woman left shortly after he arrived at approximately 10 a.m. Redacted was at a trash dump in the campground, observed a white van that matched the pictures in the media, turning out from the Signal Mountain campground towards Jackson Hole, Moosegate direction. They observed a white male that was identified as Brian Laundrie driving. There was no one in the front passenger seat. The redacted person remembered the van because it cut a corner too tight and went up on the curb. Another person interviewed that they were alone. They were in the Grand Teton National Park on August 28th at approximately 11:30 a.m. They arrived at a parking lot directly adjacent to the abandoned Bar BC Ranch near Cottonwood Trail Road as it approached the Snake River. Their group was planning to fish in the Snake River before they departed. However, they were taking some photos of the Teton Range while there. Redacted observed what was believed to be the van driven by Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie backed into the parking spot in the lot. She saw a male standing near the driver's door and a female near the passenger door. The male was wearing a dark t-shirt and shorts, while the female was in a light-colored biking shorts and a tank top. The female was changing her shoes. It appeared as if the pair had just completed a hike. Neither was speaking to each other, which was somewhat noteworthy. When Redacted and her group departed towards the river around 11:45, the van was gone, and Redacted had not seen the van leave or which way that it was headed. Redacted emailed the writer one of the photographs she had taken while in the lot. The photograph is attached. Okay. Copy of the card transaction on August 31st for $26.02 in the Macon RAAOR. The photographs of Petito, Brian Laundrie, and a white Ford Transit van with Florida registration. Special agent requested that an attempt be made to obtain the surveillance video from the Shell gas station located in Macon, Georgia. The writer made contact with the manager on September 15th. Special agent updated the address of the Shell gas station and allowed access to the surveillance system. The writer can be found the white Ford Transit van appears on the exterior surveillance cameras. According to the camera timer, the van exits the property at 11:25 p.m. According to the camera timer, a white male believed to be Laundrie exits the driver's side of the van, appears to get gas on the passenger side. The male then enters the driver's side rear sliding door, then walks into the Shell gas station. The male enters the male restroom. The male exits the restroom and leaves the station without purchasing any other items in the interior. 13 still images are included as a 1A package taken from the surveillance video of a different event at the location. Okay. On September 16th, video surveillance was recovered from the Shell gas station in Macon, Georgia. On Monday, September 13th, Circle K in Gainesville, Florida, in an effort to get the surveillance. Let's see, they provided 2 screenshots of a white van at the third to last gas pump from the building taken at 3 a.m. on September 1st. She also provided a screenshot of a white male subject entering the Circle K at 3:05 a.m. on September 1st, wearing a blue shirt, gray sweatpants, and sandals. Advised the suspect came into the store, paid $10 in cash for gas, in addition to the debit card purchase at the pump. No further screenshots were shared and no additional information provided. References made. What is this? His bag? Federal search warrant was served. The photographer for the search maintained the photo log. Entry photos were taken, room labels applied. Remington, what's all that ammunition? Brass knuckles. Arrows. No Country for Old Men. Moab, arches. Another arrow. Hairbrush. Butterfly. Notebook. Invoice, laptops, money, one something stop, total 8576. That looks like a drone. Bullets in a can, in a jar. Stuff for the arrow. What does that say? Programs, TV, or you from a young age. Children are prepared. TV shows makes this are the things. Separated. Something adults who are by the passage of time. TV, something you don't feel the passage of time. Two people today, one's with something, others prestige. Is this people can point at something for being evil, but not groups. Something with the Nazis. Wow, I have to enlarge that. Together we can prevent fraud and scams. Canyonlands, REI. Brian, here's the letter. Oh, here's that's the Simpsons. There's crying, I don't have emotions, deprogrammed, buddy, deep breaths, start meds, handful, something feet. Anytime somebody in a new car offered them a ride and the driver no, they stand at the side of the road and watch. Or Buick or Toyota disappear and the mommy would, the smell of the new car, the smell of dead. This was the third or fourth time she came back. The glue and resin smell in new cars is formaldehyde. Same thing. What? the road. Left something. I don't know. Get new tent. One more big Target trip is needed. Clean rooms. Find something. Clean something. Something, a new tent. Van something. The Watchtower, that's Jehovah's Witnesses. Stuff about the gun. Zion, the shirt. Hero 4. So today is October 26, 2008. Ballads. I came out last night and was a little understanding because I've been hearing leaks of it. Oh, I don't know. The birds have 5 more. The heck? I got back. I try not to think about any of the cancer stuff because it's too awful. But since I got back, she's been trying to decide whether to go back to New York or stay here. A lot of reasons. This sounds like his mother with her cancer, I think. Let me see. This must have been written by Brian in the dark or something. Last night to play on the piano in the something. Clean my room. Today for the first time since I got back. Hair is still something, and read through some old notes I've been writing in my green notepad for a long time, but these are just a snippet of something I wanted to write with a clear head. What's going on without drugs or magic or love, the horrible reality, or something. My analysis of the state of things. I'm living on my stomach with the lights out in my room. I'm laying on my stomach with the lights out in my room. No music. My something are still alive despite me not feeding them for at least 6 months. My mealworms. Quails left. I'm going to stop something. Birds has 5 more. Radiation treatments. She has a big dark circle on her chest. Her hair is coming back all gray, and I think she's beautiful. Since I got back, I try not to think about any of the cancer stuff because it's too awful. But since I got back, she's been trying to decide whether to go back to New York or stay here. A lot of reasons. Examples: money, insurance, family, happiness, security, health, blah, 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 incentives, maybe, but it's been far too much of this. It's been since they came back from New York. What do you mean came back? They already did this already and had about a year of build up to this. It's been 2 years of working up completely unsure. It's all too much for me. Yeah, I sound like a biatch, but I really have been every day for 2 years. I was working at Publix for about 6 months when it sounded like we were going back. I went to New York to enjoy myself for a little bit. I'm gone. Came back to that about a year ago. I went into a type of manic where I was smashing holes in the wall with my head. kicking through paintings, tearing whatever I was working on, pouring gasoline on myself with a gun to my head, wrestling alligators. I wanted to die, and the weird thing is nothing changed but the timers running down. November 6th, we've got to be back in New York, but that's only a week and a half away. No one's doing anything but eating in silence and writing, hiding. Something I can't stay, because if we decide to stay, nothing will change. No weight will be lifted. I have no options because I am a ghost, a shell. I've never had a house or a family. The heck is this stuff? Gabby Petito. Something ultimate. Bridge. When they're out, but still hidden. Historical. What? Watchtower. Why does he have all those Jehovah's Witness things? Gabby, miscellaneous. A hard decision. Outrageous fears. You wake up and your friend. What? Oh my gosh, could they have taken some better pictures? Decomposition book. Day together, next day, the next day. Different directions after. This is ridiculous. They're pictures. You remember the darkness. You look up and you see a tree filled with stars. You look, these deep ocean eyes, the eyes you could never forget, the ghost in the blue dress smiling, bright as dark of the depths of spaces. The dark surround you, but oh my gosh, this is crazy. Our van, Ford Transit, clean. And the mountains echoed. Of the love I have for her, and that I helped her up and walked her. Wake up, and it's the last day of high school. The pain keeps bearing down. A better life, a phone call. You wake up and your life is over. Oh, it's crazy. Books, glass. Brian Christopher Laundry firearm bill of sale. We already read that. Choke. about the search warrant. At the conclusion of the search, a total of 6 evidence items were seized. Let's see. Van. Black iPhone, Western Digital external hard drive, 5 notebooks, greeting cards, hair fiber, fingernails. Van has yellow discoloration on front driver panel, sliding driver panel, door panel, rear panel, tear on exterior, something, damage, white shoes, passenger floorboard visible, staining on driver's side seat, visible staining and residue on driver's side, small black bag behind driver's seat, art supplies, bedding, miscellaneous bags and items in rear, scented, serrated knife, rear swinging door, mattress missing. No major areas of illumination or dark spots on van or contents, no major patterns that appeared as blood on or cleanup, some spots illuminated. Will conduct a luminal testing. Okay. Description and location of the vehicle to be searched. Okay, the infotainment system, let's see. Subject, vehicle owner, Gabrielle Gabby Petito and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, left from New York State sometime in mid-June 2021 for a vacation to Utah, traveling to a variety of national parks along the way. While they were on their trip, they documented some of the events on a YouTube video, Van Life, beginning our van life journey. During the trip, the subject sent almost daily text messages and had many phone call conversations with Redacted. During these conversations, there appeared to be more and more tension between the missing subject and Laundrie. On 8/12/2021, a report was generated by the Moab City Police Department referencing a domestic disturbance between the subject and Laundrie. In the report, the officer wrote, "After evaluating the totality of the circumstances, I do not believe the situation escalated to the level of a domestic assault as much as that of a mental health crisis." The officer stated the subject was having a severe case of anxiety per the subject's testimony on scene. Laundrie also told the responding officers that he was concerned about the subject because her anxiety had worsened during their extended trip. On August 27, 2021, the subject received an odd text from the subject. The text read, "Can you help Redacted? I keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." This reference to Redacted was regarding Redacted, which per the Redacted subject, this is when she was texting about her grandfather, never called him that. This was the last communication anyone had. This was with Gabby. Her cell phone was no longer operational, and she stopped posting anything on social media about her trip. This is a family member, this was not normal behavior for her, Gabby Petito, and they became even more worried about her. On September 11th, the subject was entered as a missing person by the Suffolk County Police Department in New York. Based on the reports from the Moab City Police, it appears the subject is also endangered due to mental health concerns. On September 11th, the subject's van, a white Ford Transit bearing Florida tags, was located at her address. Per the license plate reader installed in Sumter Boulevard, the vehicle entered the city of Northport on September 1st, 2021 at approximately 10:26 a.m. The subject was not at the residence and they did not know her whereabouts. Redacted speak with law enforcement and directed officers on scene to speak with Redacted. Brian Laundrie was not seen at the redacted address either, and it could not be verified who drove the subject's van back to Florida. Redacted agreed to turn over the subject's van to the Northport Police Department for safekeeping. It was towed to the secured Sallyport at the time of contact with Redacted, and no objection about the vehicle being towed, and even moved out of the way of the van to expedite the process. On 9/12/2021, an emergency ping was also requested for the subject's cell phone through T-Mobile, which yielded negative results. The ping showed the subject's cell phone was not working within the last 48 hours. A historical cell site search was granted on 9/13/2021 based on the totality of the circumstances and the subject's mental health. Okay, let's see. Daughter behavior. Evidence sought. Okay, let's see what happened. All times approximate. General team brief. Okay. White Ford Transit, presumptive test log, on September 20th, 2021 at approximately 9:45, aforementioned federal search warrant was executed at Redacted, the residence of Redacted. The search was to locate and preserve any evidence. The Redacted was present on scene and towed from the premises to be searched in a controlled environment, and the towing transport was documented. 56 items of evidence were seized from the residence under the warrant. All items were photographed. All photographs pertaining to the search will be burned onto a DVD. All items were transported to the Tampa Evidence Control Unit. Search and seizure warrant. USB thumb drive observed in law enforcement offers in the bedroom of Brian Laundrie. Clothing and other fiber material, items from the road trip, Petito's van, documents and records relating to the road trip, records, information, routers, modems, computers, cell phone belonging to Gabby Petito, any cell phone belonging to Brian Laundrie, any Apple phone, any computer, iPad, a digital camera. Okay, so they have all the stuff, that 40 caliber shell casings inside wooden box on top of bookshelf, 29 Winchester, 38 live rounds inside wooden camo box, gray tote labeled baby maternity, 38 Magnum live rounds inside a wooden Camacho box in the gray container marked baby maternity, 1 Monarch sleeping bag, 1 Kelty tent, yellow and gray, 1 equipment person traveled hammock, watchtower, Jehovah's Kingdoms magazine in basket among magazines next to the toilet, white binder containing Polaroid photos of Gabby and Brian on the bottom of a bookshelf, a blue and white blanket in the closet on a shelf, phone numbers on paper on the front desk, classic Cars calendar, dates and notes, August 18th, Brian arrives above the front desk, Brian's social security card, birth certificate, receipt of firearms purchases in Brian Laundrie's name in the bottom wooden file cabinet, a black notebook containing cell phone account information inside the black file, fax on the floor, flower address book with numbers and cell phone accounts and passwords on the wood shelf, Garmin with a charger on the desk, calendar calendar, something, dates involving Brian's trips above the desk, black hard case suitcase of female clothing on the floor, black Victoria's Secret pink duffel bag with sweaters and sleeping mat inside on top of number 16, gray yoga mat on top of number 16, blue flower suitcase containing female and infant clothing on the floor. That's weird. Postal receipts from black file fax on the floor, black flower backpack containing female clothing on the floor near the sliding door, one gray shorts, one brown sweatshirt, one black shorts on the floor near the sliding door, one pillow, one white blanket with sun pattern, one gray cotton jersey blanket, one tan crochet blanket, an Apple MacBook Pro with stickers, a gray iPad, a green bag containing 2 journals, recipes, handwritten note, a hairbrush, sunglasses, and a green Apple mouse, a green camera bag with scan discs, DJI drone, 2 flower zippered bags of female clothing, shorts, t-shirts, scarves, a USPS box labeled Gabby Miss, hat, black pants, water bottles, headband, a letter from Gabby to Brian, 6.5 white Adidas, black and white REI bag with female clothing, pants, 2 decomposition notebooks, brown wallet with Brian Laundrie's ID, credit cards, and cash, $1.89 and change, and store cards, a touchlight, brown handled knife in brown leather sleeve with cufflinks with eagle, GoPro Hero 4 camera, white zipper bag with Gabby Petito's picture on it containing markers, a GoPro Hero, AirPods in gray charging case, an Alcatel cell phone model 50 blah blah blah, 3 books, Lullaby, Choke, Consider This, USPS envelope containing brochures and maps from the trip, silver clipboard containing flowers, letters, artwork, personal effects, purple notebook with stickers containing trip planning notes, purple iPhone 11, white iPhone box, and Instax Mini 75 camera, Polaroid Now camera, Polaroid printer, 2 SD cards, 2 USB thumb drives, Canon G7X camera, SD card inside, battery and charger, Simply Stargazing book, 2 blue Zodiac notebooks, Jesus Sun book, yellow notebook, blue notebook, Hidden Life of Trees book, Entangled Life book, miscellaneous. Hold on, let me just see that. Okay. Green REI flowery bag containing makeup, female clothing, hats, white, brown, black pack containing female clothing, hairbrush, nail polish, stuffed animals, toiletries, and a red bag, USPS box, personal effects, Cricut Joy craft device, oh wow, on bed, keepsake box containing photos, personal effects, stuffed animals, Scotch tape dispenser with tape, 1 on bed, Scotch tape dispenser, 1 on floor. Okay. Receipt for property. So this is everything that they got. 2 full boxes, 1 partial box. Nothing further. Nothing further. In camera order. A single family home. Items to be searched. On September 19th, 2021, the Honorable Thomas G. Wilson authorized a search warrant Target residence is the home of Brian Laundrie. Laundrie, a person of interest in an investigation into a missing person, Gabrielle Venora Petito. On or about September 14th, 2021, reported to law enforcement that he too was missing. And based on the facts discussed below, there's probable cause that the target residence contains evidence of federal crimes, namely murder in the special maritime of territorial jurisdiction of the United States. The facts I describe in this affidavit come from several sources, my personal knowledge based on the participation in this investigation, information obtained by way of a warrant, a subpoena, information I learned by consulting with other officers working on this investigation, and information learned throughout the course of a search of the target residence, discussed in more detail below. Probable cause. The residence and the seizure. Let me see. Investigators found approximately 115 rounds of .357 ammunition in 3 ammunition boxes. 2 of the 3 boxes had been opened and were missing rounds. 1 box contained 38 rounds, 12 missing rounds, and the other contained 27 rounds, 23 rounds missing. Here are photographs of the ammunition. 27 rounds of .357 ammunition located in a plastic tote. During search of the target residence, investigators found 2 semi-automatic handguns. Agents did not find a revolver. The handguns and above-mentioned ammunition was found in the garage of the target residence. Also, during the search of the target residence, in a bedroom, according to redacted, was Laundrie's before his road trip was with Petito's, investigators found a journal. In it were various handwritten notes and writings. On one of them, the author wrote the following: "My real options are to run off entirely on my own, buy a piece of land, or kill myself. Under the mattress I'm on, there is a loaded .357 Magnum revolver. A pull of the trigger and all my problems will be over." Above, this entry was written on October 26, 2018. Based on my training and experience and my specific knowledge about this investigation, I have probable cause to believe that this statement was written by Laundrie. Based on my knowledge about this investigation, to include my knowledge of deceptive actions Laundrie has taken in the past several weeks, I have reason to question the accuracy of the date listed above this journal entry. In the same bedroom in which the journal was found, investigators found a sketchbook. In it were the following sketches. Investigators located Petito's remains on September 19th, 2021 at the Brigger-Teton National Forest in Wyoming. Near Petito's bodies, investigators found a revolver speed loader containing ammunition. Investigators at the scene of Petito's remains have not been able to open the speed loader and gain additional information about the revolver ammunition inside of it. Revolver, speed loader with ammunition located near the human remains of believed to be Petito. Also near Petito's body, investigators found 2 arrows. Petito had a tattoo on her forearm that read, "Let it be." Due to the condition of Petito's remains and cause and manner of death have not been determined. Autopsy results are pending. Based on the foregoing, I respectfully request authority to seize items. Okay. On October 20th, 2021, members of the Tampa Division Evidence Response Team deployed to the Carlton Wilderness Preserve at 689 Ryerstown Road, Northport, Florida, in support of human remains recovery and forensic search. The main search scene was identified in an area located at approximately blah, blah, blah. For background, the Northport Police Department located a white bag at approximately redacted. The Northport Police detective located human remains in an area adjacent to the bag. The main search scene was originally secured by the Northport Police Department at approximately 8:30 upon the discovery of human remains. At approximately 10:04 FBI case agent, special agent arrived on scene. At approximately 11:30 FBI ERT special agent arrived on scene, establishing a sign-in log and served as the on-site ERT representative until the main body of ERT could arrive. At approximately 1500, Tampa Division ERT arrived on scene and commenced the search and human remains recovery options. The ERT ECM was used to consolidate documentation, including an administrative log, photo log, sign-in log, evidence log, and other scene management data. A final casebook report is enclosed. Okay, all handwritten notes are included. The principal scene photographer was a special agent who utilized a Nikon D700 camera. The close-up with scale photographer was special agent redacted utilizing a Nikon D610 camera. Original backup of original work copy and examination copy DVDs. Associated photo logs are included in an 1A to this document. Okay, forensic drone photography was conducted. Total station was utilized to record locations of evidence and human remain items. The FBI utilized the assistance of canine cadaver dogs to assist in the location of human remains. Canine assets were provided by Pasco County Sheriff's Office and Brevard County Sheriff's Office. Additionally, an electronic search canine was utilized to assist in the search for electronics, to include cellular telephones. Electronic search canine assets were provided by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Items were labeled as either evidence or human remains. All evidence and human remain items were collected by the FBI. Human remain items initially identified as human remains 34 and 35 were not collected because they were accessed to be animal bones. Human remain items were provided to the District 12 medical examiner as documented in the enclosed FD 597. A total of 19 evidence items were collected and provided to the case agent. A bag of animal bones was released to anthropology. Note regarding general evidence collected on October 21st. Evidence items EV3A, EV9A, EV13, EV14, 15, 16, and 17 were collected and sealed on site, placed in a large bag for transport. At approximately 1745, the bag was inadvertently taken with bags of human remains, released to the District 12 medical examiner. The items were taken off-site briefly with the human remains. The items were reunited at the 1800 after contacting the collecting official. The items were in the custody of the District 12 medical examiner at all times. All items were inventoried and inspected. Additional details regarding the processing are enclosed and made a part of hereto in physical and digital attachments. Bureau investigation. Scattered remains. With teeth not to be commingled, scattered bones suspected to be human remains. In wooded area with some personal effects. Human remains located outside main area south of location EV9, believed to be moved by an animal during the night. Accessed as humerus found adjacent to human remains 78, 79, and 80. Handgun under tree near circular ring, a green hiking backpack with a tent, books, hammock, chair, utensils, 2 flares, removed shorts, shoe, blue t-shirt, a hat, a bag, additional fragments, a notebook, a box, white paper, partial paper cup, a bag, mesh, rolled up photo, a metal projectile, human remains, human remains, human remains, human remains. That's all human remains, human remains. All human remains. Still all human remains. Hold on, that's that. But there's, wait, there's more. Brian Laundrie notebook. Oh, that's his notebook. We've seen that before. What else they have recently added? Recently added was Brian Laundrie. It was added on June 6th. Brian Laundrie, Brian Laundrie, Brian Laundrie Part 1. Where's this? That's what we read. What was the other recently added thing? Brian Laundrie. Ah, it's the same thing. Okay, anything else? Interesting, interesting. So yeah, I don't know, all that stuff that he wrote is kind of crazy, isn't it? Hi, Sassy. Hey, Paint It Black. Apparently, I don't think you guys are as excited about these documents, or you don't, I don't know. I don't know where all our discovery people are. But do the daily puzzle. I can't believe it's 2 o'clock. The last time I checked it was 12. I got into that. Do this and then go to bed. Hi, Pink. Hi, Ralph. Hi, Painted Black. Miami. Hmm. Oh, Olive. Yeah. Okay, that's good. No, what's the other one? V-I-N-O. No. V-I-N. No. V-O. V-O-L. V, no. V-O-L-I. V-O. No. V-O-V. Gotta be Something like this. Oh, we all just got it at the same time. Finally, I'd advanced, but they don't even make a big deal about it anymore. Let's see. Yay. All right, I'm going to call it a night. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a good one. Bye now. Love you. God bless. See you.